Coaches, the season has come to an end. Now you're sitting at home twiddling your thumbs trying to figure out what to do. Today on the channel, I'm going to give you 4 steps for you to have a productive offseason. Stay tuned. Coaches, welcome to Air Raid Nation. This is Coach Coltharp coming to you. This is the first video of the 2023-2024 offseason. And I thought it would be interesting to kind of look at how you plan your offseason, how you decompress from the season and then kind of move forward into next year. And those of you guys who've been doing this a long time know that process can be made a lot easier with really good planning. So today on the channel, I thought we would go through 4 steps that will help you have a productive offseason and help you grow as a coach and as a program. And if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more of this kind of content, man, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. It helps us grow. We're still on our journey to 10,000 subscribers, and it's just mind blowing to me that we started this channel 4 years ago, and we have this many guys who watch the content and help grow the Air Raid Nation. All right, coaches, let's jump into some content. So obviously it's the off season, so we're all kind of saying, now what? Now what do we do? How do we decompress from the journey that started last spring and went through the summer and then 4 months through the season and all the time away, and you're back home now and you're kind of fidgeting. It's kind of like when you've been drinking a lot of coffee and then you kind of cut cold turkey, and it just it's not an easy thing to do. So I thought I would kind of help you get yourself together and ready for the off season, because this is what I kind of have to do every year to help me transition into quote unquote civilian life, so to speak. So the first thing for me is to kind of review your season. Go back and look at the good things, the bad things, the big games, the games where you let them get away, things like that, and see what you could have done differently or what you liked. And a lot of times, season reviews become negatives, but really they can be positives. What are some things that you learned from, watching YouTube or going to clinics that you installed and became like a really good staple in your program? What was an adjustment that you made when you faced a certain team that ended up being part of your base packages and those kind of things. Those are always good things to do. Also, it's really good to look at your personnel. Look at what you got coming back. What kids surprised you, what kids kind of underachieved in your mind, and kind of say, okay, this is what we have coming back, and this is what we were good at last year with the people who are coming back. This is what they're good at, and I think that's really, really important as you get to your second step, which is setting up your off-season objectives. What are your objectives? Do you need to get stronger in the weight room? I think everybody's number one objective always in the off-season is get stronger in the weight room. So you looking at your weight room plan. Has it been successful? Look at your numbers, your maxes and things like that, working with your weight room people, or if you're the weight room person yourself, what are your objectives and what are your ways to achieve that? Do you need to develop more explosiveness? Are you looking to change that up? And there's some great people out there who can help you with those kind of ideas. And I would suggest that you really, really look into those kind of things if that's something you want to look at. But, for us, what are our off-season objectives? Obviously, weight room is important. Obviously, for us, academic tracking is important. When you're at a small school, you can't afford to have 2 guys or 3 guys walking around the hallways who should be playing football who aren't because of academics. So we do a really good job of chasing down kids year round and checking grades, pretty regularly. I wouldn't even say periodically. I would say regularly. I know I look at our kids' grades probably once every 2 weeks at least in the off season, probably more in the spring when it really, really matters. For us, with our eligibility rules in our state being tied to previous semester as well as promotion. So we look at those kind of things and try to stay on top of them. And then, what are your ideas about recruiting your hallways? How are you going to get kids out? Are you going to basketball games and seeing kids that maybe are playing other sports that you don't really get to see or talk too much because they may have just moved in or something like that. So, what are your objectives for the weight room? What are your objectives for academics? What are your objectives for recruiting your hallways and getting participation numbers up or keeping them up? How are you dealing with your feeder programs? programs? Are you going over there? Those kind of things. All those things are really, really important. And then are you looking to change schemes? I mean, some of you guys who are watching my content are thinking of, going air raid, and looking at air raid systems. So, what are you changing schemes offensively, defensively, and setting those objectives up and giving yourself a plan of these are the things we want to accomplish. And I think that's really important if you set down and actually write that out. And then what are you going to do for clinic season? Are you going to a school? School clinics. Are you going to a mega clinic? Are you going to a local clinic? Are you going to put a clinic on yourself? And I can tell you from a guy who's done clinics, spoken at other people's clinics and putting on clinics and things like that. When you create a clinic or you put on a clinic, I'm telling you, you learn as much as by teaching it as you do by going and watching and listening. So I think that's really, really important. So if that's something that you would be interested in, hit me up in the comments or on Twitter, and we'll talk about what I had to do to put on our clinics. We are going to do an in-person clinic in the spring in North Carolina, date to be announced. So we will be doing an Air Raid Nation clinic somewhere around here, probably it'll be between January and April. I just got to look at the schedules and see when we can get the venues and things like that. But we will be doing our first in-person Air Raid clinic post-COVID. Looking forward to that. Also going to be doing some online stuff. We have a video coming out here in a couple of weeks talking about our new Air Raid Academy, where we're going to do 7 or 8 sessions, talking you through, 7 or 8. It'll be probably about 7 or 8 1 to 2 hour sessions where we're going to have guys online via our CoachTube page, teaching the Air Raid from bottom to top and top to bottom. And so if you're interested in Air Raid Academy, just down in the comments, type Air Raid Academy. So I know that's something you guys will be interested in. So we're going to have an in-person clinic, and then we'll have an online series, private online clinics as well. So that's kind of like clinic season for you guys. So, what are your clinic seasons? I know we try to go as a staff to several different places. And I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy going to the small schools. We got a little D3 school here in town and a D2 school and those things. But when you go to those small school clinics, man, you get that one-on-one access. That's pretty cool. And those coaches are brilliant. I mean, and here's one for you. Look at the guy at Kansas. He won several Division III national championships, and now he's got Kansas in the top 25. So that guy can coach. So don't turn your nose up at the small schools. Check their clinics out. And you'd be very surprised at what the amount of knowledge that you can learn. And then lastly, staff meetings. I would plan a monthly staff meeting if you can get away with it. I know that our school, a lot of our guys, they coach other sports and things like that. But, just being able to stay around each other and talk and share information that we're picking up. Sometimes we'll go to different clinics, and when you guys come back, giving that information out. But maybe having a monthly staff meeting will be something that would help you as you move through the off season. And we can just keep going and going and going and going. But I thought, as I looked at it, these are really 4 good steps to have a successful off season. And I hope that they help you get planned. And I'm looking forward to a great off season here on Air Raid Nation. Coaches, thanks for watching today's content. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure you drop a like on the video, hit subscribe if you haven't, and as always, spin it to win.